No.
I don't think we're good. So our next question, given the current state of our crumbling infrastructure and the ongoing new construction projects and infill developments that add pressure to it, what would be your plan for the next 5 years to address this issue? And I'll start with David.
You know, there should be no development approved in our district and in our city without an EIR, an impact study that measures how that development impacts our communities. Absent those conditions, preconditions, there should be no development approved anywhere in the city. We should know whether our infrastructure can sustain the added building, whether it can sustain the added traffic, whether it can sustain the added density. And until such time as that is had, no development should be approved. And we shouldn't have developers handling the EIR.
Now to Douglas.
We already know that, as David pointed out, we don't need to do studies as a city that we can't handle the crumbling infrastructure. We know it's falling apart. And what needs to be done is, first off, when it comes under CEQA, do you know that CEQA is the California Environmental Quality Act? You no longer have to study the impacts of parking anymore. That was about 5 years ago they took it out because they assume that in an urban environment no one can find a place to park. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So it's become the same way now with traffic. So they're reducing the requirements on traffic analysis. In Hollywood, we have what's known as LOSF at almost every intersection in my community. That's failure. We have failure in our intersections. We have failure on the on-ramps to the 101 freeway, which is the most congested freeway in the United States, we've been told. When it comes to the infrastructure, we've been told that the sewage pipes, which are 90 years old in Hollywood, are about to collapse. And yet, no one's saying, should the developers pay for that? No, they're not. Instead, they're giving approval to all these projects.
All right, so one of the reasons that our team, we read through the entire policy of S, so going off of policy, and another reason that on the whole we don't like it is because it's reactive and restrictive. So it's saying no to something for 2 years, and we want to think moving forward. So let's talk about vision moving forward for what our city looks like, because I actually disagree with Sylvia. I think, like, yes, we are outreach, but part of it is city planning. We have to hold a vision for what the city wants to look like. And right now we have a city designed around cars. There's a plan called Mobility 2035 that I think is a great framework to start in. And what the failures of that's been happening is that the leadership, that Mitch didn't come to the community and say, hey, we've got this framework to work in. What do you guys think? You know, he didn't go to Atwater and say, how can we fit in Mobility 2035 into Atwater? How do we fit this into Hollywood? And so that's what we need to look at. You know, Portland passed something called Skinny Streets that really encourages mobility of walking and biking. We need to think about all ages when we're doing this. And this is the holistic vision that we've got for this district and Los Angeles as a whole that not enough of the leadership have right now.
So this is the exact reason why we need a comprehensive planning reform and to update our general plan in a responsible way, because that's the only way that we can actually improve the infrastructure to accommodate whatever it is the new intensity of use that we're proposing. Otherwise, what we're doing is we're being fiscally irresponsible by continually allowing water main breaks and other stress on infrastructure that ends up costing the city more and does nothing to resolve any of the problems. When you're talking about intensity of use, developers absolutely should be held responsible for paying into infrastructure upgrades. So that can be done through linkage fees, Quimby fees, and other associated fees in order to move forward in a responsible way.
Going along the same lines, actually, comprehensive planning. Things don't exist aside from each other or independent of each other. You can't have these large projects, mega developments in Hollywood that seem to exist outside the real world. we're not getting away from cars. We can reduce, but they're not disappearing anytime soon. So reduced parking, trying to reduce street access, it's not going to work. We have to feel things through in real time. And real world effects include the impact of like 3 different large projects going into construction and online at the same time along Sunset Hollywood. Like that'll work. We can pretend this will somehow magically come together, but it won't. And comprehensive planning is understanding infrastructure and the impacts and what developers get and what they give back. So thank you.
So we're going to